There's a level of discipline that makes people look at you differently, not with admiration, with fear, with confusion. They'll say you're obsessed. They'll say it's not healthy. They'll say you've taken it too far, and deep down, they'll wish they had what you have. Kenji was 19 years old when he realized he had never finished anything in his entire life, not one thing. He started guitar at 14, quit after 2 months. He joined a gym at 16, went for 3 weeks. He tried learning English, downloaded the app, used it for 9 days. He wasn't lazy, he just couldn't stick with anything long enough to see results. And at 19, lying in his small apartment in Kyoto, scrolling through social media, watching people his age starting businesses, performing on stage, speaking multiple languages, he felt something break inside him. He was the quitting guy, the guy who always started strong and faded by week 3. He tried again and again. He signed up for a coding boot camp, made it 11 days before the motivation disappeared. He committed to waking up at 5 in the morning, lasted 6 days. He bought books on discipline, on willpower, on motivation. He watched videos. He made vision boards. Nothing worked. The pattern was always the same. Explosive start. Burning motivation. Then around day 10 to day 15, the fire went out. The alarm went off, and he hit snooze. The guitar sat in the corner collecting dust. The running shoes stayed by the door. His father noticed. One evening, after Kenji had quit his 4th attempt at learning traditional calligraphy, his father sat across from him at the dinner table and said something that cut deep. "You are very good at starting, Kenji. You might be the best starter I've ever seen, but starting means nothing. The world doesn't reward starters. It rewards finishers, and you have never finished anything." It was true. And it hurt because it was true. 2 weeks later, Kenji's father took him to meet someone. They drove 40 minutes outside Kyoto to a small Zen temple hidden in the mountains. His father didn't explain why. They walked through the temple gates, removed their shoes, and entered a meditation hall where an old monk sat perfectly still. The monk's name was Takahashi. He was 73 years old, and he had been practicing Zen meditation every single day for 55 years. Not 55 years with breaks, not 55 years with gaps, 55 years, every single day. Kenji's father bowed and left. The monk gestured for Kenji to sit. They sat in silence for 20 minutes. Kenji's mind was screaming, his legs hurt. He wanted to check his phone. Finally, the monk spoke. "Your father tells me you cannot finish anything." Kenji nodded, embarrassed. "It's not because you lack discipline," the monk said. "It's because you're using motivation. Motivation is your enemy. It comes and goes like weather. You cannot build a life on weather." Kenji had never heard anyone say motivation was bad. Every book, every video, every guru talked about finding your why, igniting your passion, getting motivated. The monk continued. 800 years ago, Zen monks developed a system. We call it the Gyoji system. Gyoji means continuous practice. Not practice when you feel like it, not practice when you're inspired. Continuous practice. Like breathing. You don't breathe only when you're motivated to breathe. You breathe because stopping means you stop existing. The monk stood up slowly. "You will come here every morning at 5. You will sit in meditation for 1 hour. You will do this for 100 days. No exceptions. Sick, tired, busy, doesn't matter. 100 days, every day. Every day. If you miss one day, you start the count over from day 1. Kenji felt his stomach drop. 100 days. Every single day. He had never done anything for 100 consecutive days in his life. "I don't think I can do that," Kenji said quietly. The monk smiled. "I know you can't, not the you that's sitting here right now, but you won't be doing this. The practice will be doing you." Kenji didn't understand, but he agreed. What did he have to lose? He had already failed at everything else. Day 1. Kenji showed up at 4:50 in the morning. The temple was dark and cold. The monk was already sitting. Kenji sat down. His mind was chaos, thoughts racing, body restless. The hour felt like 10 hours. When the bell rang, his legs were numb and his back was screaming. The monk said nothing, just nodded. Kenji left. Day 2, harder. He had slept terribly, anxious about waking up on time, but he showed up, sat, suffered, left. Day 3, his body hurt. He wanted to quit, but something the monk said echoed in his mind. If you miss one day, you start over from day 1. He couldn't bear the thought of doing these 3 days again. So he went. Day 7, 1 week. The longest he had stuck with anything in 2 years. He felt a tiny spark of pride. But the practice was still torture. His mind wouldn't stop. The monk sat like a statue. Kenji sat like a hurricane. Day 15. This was the danger zone. This was where Kenji always quit everything. The motivation was gone. The novelty had worn off. It was just hard now, just boring, just painful. He wanted to sleep in. His alarm went off at 4:30. He lay there having the negotiation in his mind. Just one day off. You've been so consistent. One rest day won't hurt. You deserve it. But then he remembered the rule. Miss one day, start over from day one. 15 days of suffering erased. He got up. He went. He sat. He hated every minute. But he went. This was the first principle of the Gyoji system. Make quitting more painful than continuing. The monk had engineered the cost of failure to be so high that Kenji's brain chose the lesser pain, which was showing up. Neuroscientists at the University of Tokyo who have been studying habit formation for over 20 years call this loss aversion leverage. The human brain fears loss more than it desires gain. Kenji wasn't showing up because he wanted to meditate. He was showing up because he couldn't stomach losing 15 days of progress. Day 21. 3 weeks. Kenji had broken his personal record. He had never been consistent with anything for 3 weeks. Something started to shift, not in his mind, in his body. His body started waking up at 4:20 without the alarm. His body started walking to the car. His body knew the routine now. The monk was teaching him something that couldn't be taught with words. He was teaching him that discipline isn't a mental state, it's a physical program. Day 30, 1 month. The monk spoke to him for only the second time. You are still trying to use your mind to do this. Stop. Your mind is not your friend here. Your body is. Let your body lead. Kenji didn't fully understand, but he noticed something. On days when he didn't think about meditation, when he just moved through the morning routine mechanically, it was easier. Alarm, bathroom, clothes, car, temple, sit. No decision-making, no negotiation, just sequence. This was the second principle of the Gyoji system. Eliminate negotiation. The monk had him do the exact same routine every single morning, same wake time, same sequence, same seat in the meditation hall, same everything. Because every decision is an opportunity to quit. Every negotiation is a chance for the mind to talk you out of it. The Gyoji system removes all decisions. There is only the routine. You don't decide whether to do it, you just do it. It's already decided. Researchers at Stanford University studying decision fatigue discovered that humans have a limited capacity for decisions each day. Every choice depletes that capacity. The most disciplined people don't have more willpower, they have fewer decisions. They automate everything. Wake up, same time. Same breakfast, same workout time, same work start time. The routine is so locked in that the brain stops treating it as optional. It becomes like brushing your teeth. You don't negotiate with yourself about whether to brush your teeth. You just do it. Day 45. Kenji realized he hadn't thought about quitting in 2 weeks. It wasn't because it got easier. It was because quitting stopped being an option his brain offered him. The routine was now deeper than his thoughts. He would wake up and his body would already be moving. Feet on the floor, bathroom, clothes. He was on autopilot, and that's exactly where the monk wanted him. Day 50. Halfway. Kenji sat down, and for the first time, his mind was quiet for 30 seconds. Just 30 seconds. But it happened. The monk noticed. After the session, he said, "You felt it." "Felt what?" Kenji asked. "The gap. The space between thoughts. That's what we've been building toward. But that's not the achievement. The achievement is that you showed up 50 days in a row. The quiet mind is just a side effect. If you've made it this far in the story, stay with me. Because what happens next is where everything changes. Not just for Kenji, for you. Day 60. Kenji's father asked him how it was going. Kenji realized he hadn't told anyone about this. He had been too focused on just surviving each day. "I've gone 60 days without missing," Kenji said. His father stared at him. 60 days? You've never done anything for 60 days. Kenji nodded. He had surprised himself, but more than that, he had stopped being impressed by it. It was just what he did now. He was a person who meditated every morning. That was his identity now. This was the third principle of the Gyoji system. Identity replacement. You don't build discipline by trying to be disciplined, you build it by becoming a different person. Kenji wasn't the guy who tried meditation. He was a meditator. That was the shift. The monk had him practice the same thing, the same way, every single day, until the practice became inseparable from his identity. Kenji didn't have to remind himself to meditate. Meditators meditate. That's what they do. A researcher at University College London, who has been studying habit formation for 18 years, found that it takes an average of 66 days for a behavior to become automatic. Not 21 days like the myth says. 66 days. And the key isn't repetition alone. It's identity-level repetition, doing something so many times in the exact same context that your brain recategorizes you. You're no longer someone who's trying to build a habit. You are someone who does this thing. That's who you are now. Day 75. Kenji sat down for his meditation and realized he felt strange without it. On days when he had to travel or had early obligations, he felt off, incomplete, like he forgot to put on shoes. The practice had become a need, not because the monk forced him, because his nervous system now expected it. His body craved the routine the same way it craved sleep. The monk explained it like this. In the beginning, you push the practice. It's heavy. You have to force yourself. But somewhere around day 60 or day 70, the practice starts to pull you. You've done it so many times that your body feels wrong without it. That's when you know it's permanent. When the practice wants you more than you want the practice. Neuroscientists call this automaticity. The behavior has been encoded so deeply into the basal ganglia, the part of your brain responsible for habits, that it now runs without conscious effort. It's like driving a familiar route. You don't think about every turn. Your brain just executes the program. Kenji's morning routine was now a program. Wake, move, sit. No thought required. Day 100. The final day. Kenji arrived at the temple like always, sat like always. But when the bell rang, the monk stood and bowed to him. You have completed the Gyoji practice. 100 days. No gaps. You are now someone who finishes things. Kenji felt emotion rise in his chest. He had done it. For the first time in his life, he committed to something hard and saw it through to the end. But more than that, he had changed. He wasn't the same person who walked into this temple 100 days ago. That person was controlled by motivation, by feelings, by weather. This person was controlled by routine, by identity, by principle. The monk handed him a small wooden card with one word carved into it. Gyoji, continuous practice. This system works for anything, the monk said. Meditation, exercise, writing, learning, building. Pick the thing. Remove negotiation. Make the routine non-negotiable. Do it every day, same time, same way. Let your identity change, and 100 days later, you'll be someone else. Kenji bowed deeply. He left the temple, and he never stopped. 5 years later, Kenji owns a small software company. He learned to code using the Gyoji system. 1 hour every morning, same time, 100 days, then 200, then 365. He learned Portuguese using the same system. He learned piano using the same system. He got in the best shape of his life using the same system. People ask him how he's so disciplined. He tells them he's not disciplined. He just has systems that make quitting impossible. Now let me show you how this applies to you. You've tried to build discipline before. You've tried motivation. You've tried willpower. You've tried goal setting and accountability and apps and challenges, and most of it failed, not because you're weak, but because you were using the wrong system. You were trying to negotiate with yourself every single day. Should I work out today? Should I write today? Should I practice today? Every day was a new decision, and eventually you decided no. The Gyoji system removes the decision. You decide once, then you automate. You want to learn guitar? Fine, decide right now. Every day, 6 in the evening, 30 minutes, no exceptions. Put it in your calendar. Same time, same place, same duration, no negotiation. You don't ask yourself if you feel like it, you just do it. It's already decided. You want to get in shape? Decide right now. Every morning, 6:30, 45 minutes, gym or home, doesn't matter, same time. Every single day. No rest days for the first 100 days. Yes, 100 days straight. Because rest days in the beginning are just quit days with better marketing. After 100 days, after the identity has shifted, you can add rest days, but not before. In the beginning, you need the routine to be unbreakable. You want to write a book? 1 hour every morning, 5 to 6, same seat, same coffee, same document open. You don't write when inspiration strikes. You write at 5 in the morning. Every morning, inspiration will find you there, but you have to be there first. You want to learn a language? 30 minutes, same time, every single day, not every weekday. Every day, weekends included, holidays included, sick days included. Unless you're physically unable to sit upright, you do the 30 minutes. Because the system doesn't care about your excuses, The system only cares about the streak. Here's the harsh truth. Let me be brutally honest with you. No sugarcoating. The reason you haven't mastered anything isn't because you don't have time. You have time. You have the same 24 hours as everyone else. It's not because you don't have talent. Talent is overrated. Consistency beats talent every single time. The reason you haven't mastered anything is because you keep quitting. You quit when it gets boring. You quit when it gets hard. You quit when you don't see immediate results. You quit when motivation fades, and motivation always fades. Motivation is a drug. It feels incredible. It makes you feel unstoppable. And then it wears off. And when it wears off, you're left with reality. The reality that learning is boring, that practice is repetitive, that mastery takes years, not weeks, and most people can't handle that reality, so they quit. They go looking for the next motivational video, the next inspirational quote, the next hit of the drug, and they never build anything that lasts. The Gyoji system doesn't use motivation. It uses something much more powerful. It uses physics. An object in motion stays in motion. You start the routine. You remove all friction. You remove all decisions. You make it easier to continue than to stop, and your body does the rest. Your body loves routine. Your body craves predictability. Give your body the same sequence enough times, and it will start running that sequence automatically. You won't have to think about it. You'll just do it. But you have to make quitting painful. That's the key. Right now, quitting is easy. You just stop showing up, no consequence. The Gyoji system adds consequence. You miss one day, you reset the counter to 0. All progress erased. Suddenly quitting has a cost, and your brain will do almost anything to avoid that cost. Let me give you the practical path. The step-by-step system to make this work in your life. Step 1. Pick one thing, not 5 things. 1. The thing you've wanted to master but keep quitting. Guitar, fitness, writing, language, coding, drawing, whatever. One thing. Step 2. Decide the non-negotiable schedule. Same time every single day. Choose a time that's protected. Early morning works best because nothing interferes. But if evenings work better for your life, fine. Just make it the same time every day. Write it down. Put it in your calendar as a recurring event. This is now as non-negotiable as a doctor's appointment. Step 3. Decide the minimum viable session, 30 minutes to 1 hour, no more. You're not trying to exhaust yourself. You're trying to build automaticity. Shorter, consistent sessions beat long, sporadic sessions every time. 1 hour a day for 100 days will transform your life. 4 hours once a week will do nothing. Step 4. Remove all decisions. Lay out everything the night before. Gym clothes by the bed. Guitar on the stand. Language app bookmarked. Eliminate every micro-decision. You wake up, you execute the sequence. No thinking. Step 5. Use the reset rule. If you miss one day, you start the count over from day 1. This is not optional. This is the enforcement mechanism. This is what makes quitting painful. You can't negotiate with this. You can't say, I'll just skip today and keep the streak. No. You miss, you reset. This rule is what makes the system work. Step 6. Track the streak. Put a calendar on your wall. Mark an X. Every day you complete the practice. Watch the chain grow. Your only job is, don't break the chain. This visual feedback is powerful. Seeing 50 X's in a row makes you not want to see a blank space on day 51. Step 7. Embrace the boredom. This is where most people fail. Around week 3, the novelty is gone. It's not exciting anymore. It's just repetitive. Good. That's exactly where you need to be. Boredom is the test. If you can push through boredom, you can build mastery. Boredom is where discipline is forged. What if you fail? What if you miss a day? You reset. You start again from day 1. And you learn. You figure out what caused the break. Was it a scheduling conflict? Fix the schedule. Was it lack of sleep? Fix your sleep. Was it negotiation creeping in? Strengthen the rule. Every failure teaches you how to build a stronger system. The Japanese have a concept called wabi-sabi, the beauty of imperfection. You will fail. You will reset. That's part of the path. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is persistence. You fail, you restart, you adjust, you go again. Eventually, the system becomes unbreakable. But you have to be willing to fail and restart as many times as it takes. There's also a concept called ganbaru. It means to persist, to stick with it, to not give up even when it's hard. This is the heart of the Gyoji system. Not talent, not motivation, just ganbaru. Just showing up every single day even when every part of you wants to quit. A researcher at the University of Pennsylvania, who has been studying expertise for 25 years, conducted a study with world-class performers. Musicians, athletes, writers, scientists. The one trait they all shared wasn't intelligence. It wasn't talent. It was what she called grit. The ability to stick with something long after everyone else quit. The Gyoji system builds grit. One day at a time. One session at a time. Until quitting isn't even an option your brain considers anymore. Kenji was just a 19-year-old kid who couldn't finish anything. No special talent, no special background. The only thing he had was a willingness to follow the system completely, to remove negotiation, to make quitting painful, to show up every single day even when he didn't want to. And that system transformed him into someone unrecognizable, someone who finishes things, someone who masters things, someone who people look at and say, that level of discipline isn't normal, and now it's your turn. You have the system, you know the principles, remove negotiation, make quitting painful, build the routine, let your identity change. The question isn't whether it works, it works. 800 years of Zen monks prove it works. The question is whether you'll actually do it. Whether you'll choose the system over your feelings, whether you'll show up on day 15 when the motivation is gone, whether you'll show up on day 42 when it's boring, whether you'll show up on day 88 when no one's watching and no one would know if you skipped. That's the test. And the only person who can pass that test is you. Before you close this video, I want you to do something. Pick the one thing, the thing you've quit 3 times already, the thing you know would change your life if you actually mastered it. Pick it right now. Decide the time, decide the duration. Put it in your calendar, commit to 100 days, and start tomorrow. If this video showed you a system you've never seen before, I invite you to subscribe to this channel and tell me in the comments, what's the one thing you're going to master using the Gyoji system? I read every comment, and I want to see your progress. The path is simple. The path is ancient. The path works. The only question is whether you'll walk it.